So welcome to a special edition of the Load Management Podcast. Now, the reason why we're going to have a special edition is because this has been a hot topic in our group chat for some time now. We clash a lot about this topic. It's about Daniel Hernandez, aka Tekashi, aka 6ix9ine.
You already sound like him using government names like that.
I mean, that's his name.
We all seen
the paperwork.
Facts.
We all seen the paperwork.
That ain't out.
So, fellas, 6ix9ine dropped a single this past weekend called Gooba. Had over I think 30-something million views on Instagram. He had 2 million views in his live when he went live on Instagram, and he had almost 80 or 90 million YouTube views at the last time I checked. So the guy is putting up crazy views, crazy numbers, and I just gotta get the real because I don't know. This whole situation makes me uncomfortable. So I'm gonna.
Why are you uncomfortable?
Why am I uncomfortable?
Yeah, speak on your uncomfortableness.
He it's just nasty to look at. When
expound on that.
When 6ix9ine first dropped, I'll give you a funny story. So my friend Davion, who you guys met when he came up from Brooklyn.
Good dude.
First seen what's the song? What's his first song? With Pierre.
Couldn't even tell you, bro.
I couldn't even tell you either.
Whatever his first song was, I seen it and I was like, what in the hell is going on? So I called my man Davion once I found out they were from Brooklyn, and I'm like, yo, what's up with this Spanish dude with the rainbow, this hair, and he's running around with weed all in the video. And he's like, oh yeah, that's this dude. He didn't even really know the guy's name, but he knew the people he was affiliated with. And he said, yeah, the kid's probably a clown, but he got some monsters behind him. So ever since then, I mean, I don't think he made whack music. I don't like his new song that much, but it's just nasty to look at because it's I feel like in life, whenever someone gives you a reprieve, you have to carry yourself in a certain manner, right? Because,
fair enough.
Huh?
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not so even when we've talked about it in the group chat, I've never said, yo, he's a snitch, he's a rat, he's a bitch, he's this, he's that. Because I'm not a street guy, so I could care less what goes on in the streets. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, just the way that he's carried himself since he's been released from prison, I think has just been nasty. He hasn't shown any kind of remorse, regret, or anything, and that's where and I mean, he doesn't have to, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's gonna go left. It's not if, it's just when it's gonna go left. So who wants to jump in? That was my little spiel in a soliloquy, as Stephen A. Smith likes to say.
I'll go.
Bobby, jump in, Bobby, please.
The whole perception of 6ix9ine from the whole jump, man, just the whole gimmick, the rainbow hair, the whole SMD thing, from the jump, he was a gimmick. And I don't have no problem with people expressing themselves however they express themselves as an artist, as long as the art is good or perceived in that manner. I think it was just always from the jump, it was a gimmick. And like you said, Josh, I was watching an interview with Dave East, and he was talking about when he first seen 6ix9ine. This is before he was 6ix9ine. He was like, yo, this dude was a photographer, real quiet L7 dude. And I guess, I don't know, management took over, made this gimmick that he got into, and kind of made him the rapper or superstar that he is. Now, with that being said, was the art there? I can't tell you, besides the only 6ix9ine track I really know is with him on that Tory Lanez joint. Other than that, like I couldn't tell you another song. I couldn't give you a lyric. Like even the new video, I've watched it probably 4 or 5 times. I couldn't tell you not one word, not one lyric to the to the whole track. Like great visuals. Like
Not even Big Mad. You Big Mad.
Well, like Josh said, at some point the rooster come home. Like then he can't just walk these streets knowing that he put these so-called monsters that was behind him behind bars. Like he got to face that one day, one day. I mean, one time or another. So I don't know, man. I think we need to just stop talking about this clown, to be honest. And like Josh said, I'm not really a street dude neither, but I know if you get yourself into something or if you associate yourself with certain people, like you got to take what comes with that, man. And for him, I understand we talk about the Meek thing. Like I understand Meek was talking from a place of passion and being through certain situations, but I understood him, man. At that time, it might have not been the best time or timing or for the situation, but I felt him on that.
Yeah, I'm indifferent. Like, part of me's like, kind of, I blame the dudes in the non-trade gang, the dudes that he was rolling with. Like, the term for a person that's not in the streets is basically a square. They knew that he was a square. So why would you, like, in the illegal activity that you're engaging yourself in, why would you ever feel like involve him or have him do certain things? Because ultimately that was a risk, whether or not, like, you never thought he was tough to, like, my thing is, if I go do something to Kazim that's foul, or I do something to anybody that's foul, I gotta like, okay, if I do this to Kazim, what's he gonna do back to me? They didn't think much of the dude to beat him up, mess with his baby mom. They didn't think much of the dude for them to go do them things to him. So why did they think if anything was to ever happen, he would have their back? So I kind of get that aspect of it. But on the other side, like you said, like he embraced it as well too. Like, he it became a part of him. Like he was saying he was this big gangster. He was saying he can't be touched, ordering hits. So he did drug plays. Like he was taking part in like some of the criminal activity. So my thing is, like, I get like the narrative that he's going with now is they did all these things to me. You think I'm not going to snitch on them? You think I'm going to be loyal? But what a lot of people don't understand is we're just hearing about the big names that went through that court case and going to go to jail for a long time. You're not thinking of the other people that was involved in the gang that may not have even caused any harm to 6ix9ine, may not even done anything. But the simple fact that they may have been caught on a phone line or in the vicinity, that their life is ruined now, all because of that. So that's the kind of the part that's like, damn, that's just kind of foul, that's kind of messed up. And for him to come home and kind of antagonize and make jokes about it, like we all like kind of say, wow, it's entertaining. We can't deny that. It's definitely entertaining. But it's like, wow, like someone's not going to see their son anymore. Someone's not going to see their daughter. Someone's not going to see their father, their cousin, their brother. And like he's just out living his best life when he very much so like profited off of it, which is like, that's kind of messed up if you think about it that way.
All right, so I'm going to stand by it, and I've been standing by it in the group chat. I got no issue with Tekashi 6ix9ine. I repeat, I have no issue with Tekashi 6ix9ine, all right? And the reason why I do not is because the day I seen him, that first single was Gummo, Josh, that we was trying to think of, or Gumo, whatever how you pronounce it. I knew from the jump he was an entertainer. I knew from the jump this guy created a master plan to infiltrate this gang life culture. And I blame those, Treyway, Nines, Shotty, and all of them for putting a battery in his back, giving him the support that he needed, was standing behind him in every radio station, every video, every time he uttered something like Dick Houston, something like Dick J. Prince, something like Dick. California, those dudes were standing right behind him. Now, people forget this all stemmed and turned left when he was about to go on tour and he had somebody else, a label mate, seeing the back of his previous touring dates and little side things before his major headline. And this is when him and Shotty had a falling out. And then things went left. But like Kevin Gates tweeted out, if you entertain a clown, you are officially part of the circus. And those guys entertained a clown. For them to be quote unquote street guys, they knew that in his heart, he wasn't built Teflon like that. He wasn't gonna be a stand-up dude, and they knew it, and they supported, and they backed him up. Now, one thing that Tekashi 6ix9ine, what I said today, right now he is a marketing genius. He is a PR king alongside with academics. And what he has done is put the onus back on the public, to the masses. And anybody who sits down and says, okay, even though not all the facts are there, we have to understand this is not The Wire. This is not Power, right? And my stance come from every day, 3 o'clock in the morning, when I'm looking at my guide and I turn on First 48, one of my favorite shows, I see the most realist people come on there with the lack of education, lack of common sense, just thinking no cameras is on, squeal at a high rate. And these are people that look just like me, black and brown, who are affiliated or whatever and you guys know what I'm talking about. So when I see Tekashi 6ix9ine benefit from a culture, this culture that all walks are racist, and you guys already know my stance on Eminem, Post Malone, G-Eazy, Yellow Wolf, Machine Gun Kelly. You guys know where I'm even leading to that, why I name those particular type rappers. We embrace them. They're the #1 seller right now, whether you like to believe it or not. The
Post
hottest
Malone.
rapper in the game is Post Malone.
That's
The
true.
guy who came out with Allen Iverson, cornrows, gold teeth, Mercedes-Benz, and people embrace that and no one shunned them away. So we'll get into that. We'll go back and forth. But I do want to stay into it. I'm going to open the forum up to Josh just to speak on, yes, Tekashi came out. He came out and said, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, what would you have done? And what would you have done that he's pushing narrative of, you messed with my baby mama, you threatened my mom, I had to move my mom several times. What else? You stole millions of dollars from me. You guys are caught on wiretap saying that there was over 100K bounty on my own life, and you kidnapped me, pistol whipped me, and stole all my jewelry. So when we have this culture of kids who do not live in the wire, who do not live in the projects, who understand, yes, I will be doing the same thing and all this realness, they don't care about that. And we'll get back into the rappers and who's chiming in, who's chiming in. But once again, I have no issues with Tekashi 6ix9ine. I actually blame the machine that gave him the starter pack to display everything we've been displaying the last 2.5 years.
So I'll say this, right? So on the one hand, it's like he who controls the narrative controls the public. So I have a lot of speculation on whether Shotty took millions of dollars from him, because Shotty has nothing to do with that side of the business. Zero. Because
to your knowledge.
No. That's not to my knowledge. This I know for a fact. So like you wanna make it look good and cool, like, oh, what a new death row, Shotty is the new Suge Knight, Blood's on the West Coast, now we Blood's on the East Coast. When in actuality, the person controlling all of 6ix9ine's business is Sir Lucian Grainge. So Sir Lucian Grainge is the biggest figure in music. Diddy, Jay-Z, Dr. Dre, Jimmy Iovine pale in comparison to his influence and his reach. That's first and foremost, right? So the thing you have to understand is that nothing happens in a vacuum, right? So when 6ix9ine goes like, yo, it's like when you, like that's just the end result of everything that led up to it. So he's trying to control the narrative and control people's minds, saying, yeah, like me, I don't even care that much about the snitching, because we already knew that, like, when you see the first video, you know it's almost like a spoof. I don't know if you guys or the people viewing this have seen CB4 with Chris Rock. Guys,
Straight out of Gusto.
yes,
Yeah.
MC Gusto. Like, bro, like, not for nothing, he is MC Gusto. And that's cool. Like, I don't care. Like, there's a lot of fake rappers out there, or rappers who, do, nickel rocks and then want to act like they're Pablo Escobar, right? So that's cool. However, what I will say is that when 6ix9ine beat that case about his child endangerment case or whatever, when he went to celebrate, there was a shootout at the restaurant that he went to celebrate at, right? And so a person that was at that celebration was Sir Lucian Granger's son, right? So that's when everything started to twist, and that's when, like, a lot of stuff started to happen behind the scenes, and they were like, yo, we got to get him away from these guys. Because what happens is, we always look at the story of, all right, a rapper's first couple albums, you're going to have all the street guys around, they're 30, 40 deep, they're running around, they got guns, they got goons around. Then as they progress in music and in business, those guys start to fall by the wayside, and they start to transition to being like more like, doing like movies or trying to get endorsements or make different kind of music. So they were already like, cool, we've established his streetness and his presence with these guys. Now we have to wrestle him away. So, like, when he's snitching, bro, like, Zim, I told you 100 times, I don't care. When the whole Troy Ave and Taxstone situation happened, I said, yo, I don't really care. Like, you know what I'm saying? But what I will say is that you made a good point about, now this is a larger conversation about how you have he is like a Post Malone. He is like a, I don't want to hate on like a G-Eazy or a Eminem, because they're just being themselves.
Right, and I agree to that, but
he's like an Iggy Azalea.
Right, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's just more of, we have this whole persona, culture, and then everybody's definition of culture is just diluted at this point, because what I grew up on and the music that I grew up on is just not the same, right? And obviously, you guys know I work at a school, and a lot of you guys work with our youth as well. The stuff that they listen to is not something that I, grew up listening to. But then I understand that we live in a different day and age, and they live by different culture than what we grasp on to. So when you see this guy post up and get 30 million in 5 hours and 150,000 comments, and I had time, quarantine, I'm looking at these comments. These are kids who come from, suburban areas, 2-parent household, who are supporting this and don't understand or grasp the ways and means of, robbing, stealing, selling.
Hold on. Wait. I'm gonna stop you, right? So the reason why I don't like that point is because those suburban white kids, or just whoever, black, brown, white.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. They want to feel close to the street. Like, so the fact that Shoddy and the 9 Trades established him as that in the beginning is what put the eyeballs on him initially. So therein lies the problem. And then that's when the machine starts to take hold and like, okay, we can sell this.
And to kind of give like a hot take, there's no truth to it, but just kind of like putting 2 and 2 together. If you think about the artists that Shoddy had, like the dude, Skinny9 from whatever his name is, you know what I'm talking about?
Skinny9 from the something,
That's what they was trying to make into the next 6ix9ine. Like, basically a good kid who they was just trying to have promote this gang image and just be this tough guy, but then, like,
you remember what happened to
everybody.
Him repeatedly.
Exactly. So it didn't work out the same. He wasn't as, like, calculated and as smart as 6ix9ine. But so that's kind of why I'm like, these dudes kind of put their own foot in their ass in a sense, like, look what they were doing. And I get what you're saying, Z, from a culture standpoint. Like, we grew up on G-Unit, State Property, Murder, Jay-Z, all these dudes, Rockefeller. It's like Snoop Dogg. And we're thinking that the way they rapped about their lives, and for some of us that didn't have our parents at home and like, you know, we spent most of the time amongst our friends, that's the music that we depended on to like show us how to be a man or show us how to go about certain situations. So the way it was the case in the 90s, it's not going to be the same today because the rappers now is on a whole different path. Like if you look, a lot of the young boys probably, I would say from the early 2010s, I'll say from about 2012 and on, they wanted to be on that Chief Keef era, that Chirac, that drill wave. Now everybody wants to be like a little baby, Young Thug.
That trap beats.
So you look up to who the guys are now, and it's like you see so many. If you really want to cancel somebody, I keep saying this, you act like they don't exist, you don't give it attention, and you got to give 6ix9ine credit. He makes it so you forced to mention them. And these rappers, they're doing this and they're trying to come off as cool to like the masses, but they know what they're doing. They know if they engage with 6ix9ine, the platform that's going to be put on, and then that's going to ultimately help their career. And like I said, like so many dudes, man, like is say I would never snitch, I would never do this and that. Like that's a load of crap to me, because like majority of the people, it wasn't a drug crime he was doing. It wasn't like, you know, he was involved in gang culture, like one of the most dangerous things in the world. You know what I'm saying? So his point that he made was, all right, so you wanted me to take the time, not say anything, eat it, and then for the rest of my life, these dudes is already plotting against me. Now I'm in jail, I'm locked up, and I'm like labeled a blood. I'm a 9 Trey blood. So now wherever I'm at in prison, you know, I got to deal with whatever people got issue with that gang. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he was thinking, do I really want to deal with that? And a lot of dudes that's answering that question, yes, he did put himself there. Like there was no gun to his head, so we think, do this, do that. But it's like a lot of dudes ain't involved in gang culture to be able to say so strongly that they wouldn't be able to make some of the decisions he made. Yes, it's easy. It looks crazier because he's so famous. I don't think we've ever seen anything like that. But, man, dudes do stuff like this every day for less. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of get the culture aspect.
I want to ask a question. Like, how do you guys feel like, again, going back to the Meek thing, like, how do you feel like the whole rap culture is going to perceive him, like, as far as his music, like the DJ scene, like the party scene? Like, I don't think he's going to miss a beat on the party scene. I just think his sound, like his charisma, like his upbeatness, like that's always gonna jump. Like I feel like the club, he's not gonna miss a beat. I feel like with DJs and all that, I feel like if it's gonna get them the listens or if it's gonna get the crowd going, it's gonna go. Like I don't know. So it's like,
in New York, but who the DJs are right now in like a New York or California, because they're still so connected to like the older generation, I think that kind of may give him a little trouble, but he proved he doesn't even need that. He has the #1 song. Nobody's even really playing it. They're not supposed to play a song. So he doesn't. Right. It's interesting to see how he does it, but I still think he's successful.
Yeah. Jiggy, you wanted to hop in on that?
Nah.
So it's just crazy to me because I just feel like, I don't know, man. Like, the music got to add up.
My thing, and Bobby, I hear with you because, you know, knowing your cup of tea and the intellect,
I need,
you know
buzz,
what I mean?
and I need, tell me
so
something.
I respect that. And you gotta understand, like, I can't lie. DJ put me onto mad music, and you guys already know, like, how do you even know this
my nephew's
is my younger son?
That's the only way I know this shit.
But working in the club, even during the times when he was saying, F this coast, whatever the case may be. I know Ebro spoke out. I know that radio DJ in California, Hispanic dude, said they're not playing his music, whatever the case may be. During his SMD time, he was getting played. Prime time hour, 30-minute set, it was a go. When he got locked up, I will admit, the opening DJs just played Tekashi 6ix9ine. You know, there's only 30, 40 people in the club. You can get away with it. Just some quick fillers until, you know, the mainstays DJ will come on. Now, he ain't getting played. And he already knows this. And he's going to get calculated. But you know what's going to end up happening? The people is going to start going to the DJs and saying, play this song, play that track. Here's 20, here's 100. And I seen it with my own eyes, play, whatever song, or sometimes play my own song, whatever. DJs take that fun, because at the end of the day, what Tekashi 6ix9ine is doing, and I talked about this earlier in the chat, he is generating a lot of clicks and eyes to all these hip-hop culture, social media platforms that I got a comb in my hand, I don't know why, that we put on another level. Double XL, Complex, Elliot, Rock, what's Elliot hold? Title, Academics, Shade Room. So the hip hop culture that we look up to has no choice to force, because at the end of the day, all the business is about entertainment, payment, wavelengths, and clicks. And Tekashi does that like no other. And you can't take that away. And that's talent. I know musically he's not talented, but that is talent. And this is why I always say LeVar Ball, Tekashi 6ix9ine, Trump, even though we hate what their ideology and what they stand for, they will always be successful because they are willing to go against the grain. And speaking to the rappers, to the rappers, as you guys can see, my favorite rapper is Meek Mill. He made me highly upset the last 2 days, besides I seen his latest tweet today where I got his origin of why he's doing it. Because obviously we all know the killer of Nipsey Hussle was an informant and a rat. So that's what he's associated to. So it's deeper than him.
Yeah.
But what Meek Mill is doing is putting negative eyes on himself. Now, Meek don't give a damn. He battled Drake, took an L for 1.5, 2 years, and came back. So he's cool with being a bad guy. He wears that hat well. I'm just upset because he, out of all people, should know that those comments, those eyes, those clicks, they move. And he's been doing so good at building his platform. And I get that everything that he is preaching on, especially with this reform, which he is putting his money where his mouth is, and he is into action, so I respect him. But you can't wrestle with a pig. When you wrestle with a pig, you come out muddy too. And that's why I don't like. Now you got Rich the Kid. Now you got Gucci Man. Now you got Chet Hanks, Tom Hanks' son. The same guy that came out speaking Jamaican and got famous and our culture ridiculed him, Black Twitter, is now the voice on Shade Room. Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. Yo, this generation is just wavy and flickering.
Zine, let me slow you down. Let me slow you down, right? So I think that 6ix9ine will be, I think he'll be fine within like a certain bracket, but a lot of it's gonna be just about monetization. So he literally has the biggest machine in the industry behind him, right? Which a lot of people don't think about. Like, people think that these things like happen just organically because he's just so smart. And he has ideas that no one ever thought about. But there's a large machine that is backing him. But what I will say is, at some point, how does he monetize this? Because I think that he's a little radioactive, right? So let's go the next 12 to 18 months how this plays out, because can he monetize Fashion Nova or other like type of sponsorships? Can he go on tour? Like, he might be a lot, like, he might have a bunch of, he might have 20,000 suburban kids at his show, but there's gonna be some undesirables that show up and might want to get it shaken, right? How much will it cost to insure a 6ix9ine show? Like, how much security will it cost? Like, yo, how much money is he losing having to have round-the-clock security? So here's the thing, right? As long as he has Lucian Grainge backing him and people want to click and see what he's doing, he'll be fine. No one's gonna touch him. He's gonna have 10 security guards, which is fine, and that's his prerogative. However, once the interest wanes or dips a little bit, And it will if there's no substance behind his music and his artistry. It will wane, right? So then he becomes that now he's in trouble because there isn't the money coming in to pay for all the security. You really can't tour because no one to have you in their venue, and now you don't have any money coming from anywhere else. So the thing is, and that brings me back full circle to him just being a little humble and understanding, yo, you got a reprieve, bro. Like you gotta, like yo, he gotta. Not only did he get a life sentence, but you got out early because of the whole pandemic, and because there's a pandemic, nobody's outside.
Mhm.
So now you're more comfortable. So now you know all this crazy talk and behavior. It's one thing when you got security behind you. It's another thing when you got dudes who other street guys know that if they send a shot, that there's one coming back. As we saw with the Casanova beef at the Barclay.
Mhm.
Right?
So go ahead. My fault.
No. I'm all set.
So my rebuttal to that is he had those issues before he went into jail. Remember he tried to sneak in a Power in New Jersey. I think it was Power, the Breakfast Club, their show.
But
iHeartRadio.
But they let him in though. Zine, DJ Envy and Angela Yee got him in the building. They got him in.
Right, but what I'm saying, he wasn't able. Like they had to sneak it. So
Yeah,
you're
he
correct
couldn't
in the
move
sense
how he
of
wanted.
yeah, he couldn't move how he wanted beforehand. And I understand. I have to sit back and think, who is out there so upset, so pressed, rather than the people that he dimed on, they'll risk their life, their freedom just to harm him out of context.
Yeah.
Who's out there besides
I mean,
the people
it could go either way. There's crazy people all over the place, bro. There's people that just do stuff just because. So I get your premise, but my thing is, I think he's successful in the sense that every big college, university in the country is gonna play 6ix9ine. He's gonna be he probably will be a top 5 Halloween costume. He's tapping into the He's gonna be able to tour in some of these Hispanic countries. He's gonna kill it in Europe. So I can see how he'll still be able to make money if he necessarily can't tour as much in the US. He'll still have those lanes to go. But I just feel like you said, Josh, you can't say on one hand that he has someone behind him that's backing him is not organic. You don't think the same people that's backing him to create the streams is backing him to act a certain way because they know that's what kind of in his case, but
yeah, but they don't. But hold on, now, but they don't care about his well-being.
Yeah, but that's for any artist though.
Nah, but I'm saying so Trippie Redd and 6ix9ine signed to the same label.
Yeah,
and they're purposely having them beef with each other.
Yeah,
right.
Like they do a lot of stuff though. Like what we always talk about, these execs, they care about one thing: their pockets getting fat, and if it don't get fat anymore, like to hell with you. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's definitely interest. Like, and like we talk about all the time. These type of artists, man, as long as you give them a place to stay, the best clothes to wear, and a chain, they don't really. He's 24. You think he care about what money he got saved in the bank? So I mean, it's interesting to see how long this is able to go on for, but I think there are lanes that he can explore to still be kind of successful and bring in revenue.
Nah, that was exactly what I was gonna say, dog. Like, what's the longevity? Like, what's the lifespan on this type of behavior? Like how long can you walk around with rainbow hair if people still accept you? Like you can't be 35 years old still. Like, I don't know. Like, how long is this life? And what is the transition point? And when is the point where people just like, this dude is an absolute clown and we will not let him entertain us anymore?
It'll happen. Everyone burns out.
Yeah, he's a clown, but I think that dude, he is a clown. He's a clown. But that dude, he's smart, man. He got it. Like, the way he talks, like, even though you say it's someone backing him, but the way he talks, his responses, the kid's funny. Like, he knows how to grab your attention. He's entertaining. So when you could hate on him as much as you want. Like, you could hate on the blonde hair, hate on the antics, hate on the snitching. He knows certain things. Like he's an entertainer. He knows how to, the way he talks, like it's just like when the whole way he was carrying on, I became a fan afterwards when he went on the Breakfast Club interview right before he went to jail. It was like, damn, this dude kind of is like he's entertaining when he's not doing all that other dumb stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how he comes back from what he did and how society always believes in, oh, we can't trust a snitch, da 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 da. But like, I mean, if he can find a way to like alleviate all that and not be on that like SMD to everyone, like I'm gonna shoot you, which you can't say no more, doesn't have the credibility. The kid's kind of entertaining. I could see like reality shows, all of that.
Flavor.
And honestly, I know I hate to keep honing in on this, but there is a huge pocket in this country that have more tendencies with Tekashi 6ix9ine than they have with YG, Gucci Man, Meek. Like it's just a known fact. Like, you know what I mean? There's so many people and pockets in this country who perpetrate a trend, a look that understands and gravitate towards Tekashi than the real N-words, you know, that's coming out. And honestly, I'm like, damn, Meek is spitting bars right now. Like these tweets, besides all the grammatical errors, he's spitting facts. But I'm like, man, it's going on deaf ears. You know what I mean? For every 10 of Tekashi's, there's only one type of Meek Mill if you just get my logical thinking of who controls the streams, who controls the concert tickets, like not even trying to take a shot or whatever the case may be. When we went to that Kendrick Lamar concert, there was 93% of what I feel the people that's in the comments right now that's supporting Tekashi, and only the other 7% us in that dynamic and crew. If you just get what I'm saying.
But we had to make it cool first. And when the culture stops supporting,
You're right.
Hold
You're
on.
right.
And when the culture stops supporting Kendrick, Drake, Cole, whoever, Travis Scott, whoever, when the culture says they're not cool no more,
they're out of there.
They're out of here.
And I get that. That's 100% right. But look how many people in the world that probably have Zim take on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so like they don't, and like you said, the way you broke it down and the way maybe I can break it down as far as like what makes it so wrong, aside from it being a street thing, the average music listener doesn't know those facts or learning those facts.
Right.
So it'll always look like to the public, like, damn, look at all this stuff they did. Like, who wouldn't tell on them? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like, I'll admit right here, the only person I feel bad for is Kuda. You know what I mean? That's the only one that just felt like, yeah, why did you go shoot that at Chief Keef and that attempted? And then honestly, he snitched on himself before Tekashi even had the chance to snitch on him, for what I read earlier today.
Because he knew what was coming.
Because he knew what was coming. So he took a plea deal before he even had to. And that was really like, so that's another thought process I have. So, you know, the real, you know, whatever are trying to say, look at the people and the fathers and the uncles and the brothers, and I understand all that. But when Tekashi was on that wire saying, oh, whatever code that he used to put the hit on the Chief Keef, it was one of the people that's in jail that actually went to go try to execute it. Does that make sense? So how bad do you feel when you know that as to be a fact? Like, Tekashi 6ix9ine is a marketing genius. I don't stand by his ideology, but I stood back and from the jump
said, Zim, hold on, Zim. Nah. If you're gonna lie, you gotta take the if you're gonna lie, you gotta take the Dream Chasers hat off.
Lie about what? You gotta
if you're gonna lie, Zim, like
what? Go ahead. This is the group chat. Put it out there.
Oh,
my.
Oh my
Keep on it, because I
God.
don't know what you're referring to.
Zine,
I knew he was
you
entertaining
love.
from
Hold
the
on,
jump.
stop it.
All right, go ahead.
Don't say you don't subscribe to it. You love 6ix9ine, bro.
I do. I
So just admit
absolutely
it. It's all right.
I
No,
stand 10 toes
it-
down by it. He is a great entertainer. And for
So you like
anybody
6ix9ine?
I love 6ix9ine.
Okay, that's all I wanted to
I-
hear.
I
Now I
have
got something for the
no
Instagram clip.
And I
Dummy.
and I started this podcast by saying that I enjoy him, like I have no issues with him, no nothing, and I stand 10 toes down with that because just in my small pocket, I know dudes who ratted and got paperwork and seen this and seen that. First 48 type dudes, like I
know
see
you
it with
know.
my own eyes. So
I
that's
know
why
you know.
I'm just. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm just like, why is everyone shocked right now? He
It's not that
actually
we're
has
shocked. Yo, Zine, people,
Okay.
I think that a lot of people.
No. You stand by what you said, because you said you didn't think he was gonna come out and be this successful.
No, I didn't.
And I proved you.
No,
I
didn't.
just didn't think he was
I never
gonna
said
be so
that.
brash
never
about
said
it.
that.
What have you said? What have you said
I never.
besides he's
No,
gonna get
I
what
said
he's
that.
coming
I said
to?
that when he gets out, something bad's gonna happen to him. In it.
And I agreed with that. But I just didn't think he was gonna be so brash about it, just so out and open, like, yeah,
Thank
I
you.
snitched and like I don't care. Like I just never seen this before, like where a snitch is just openly walking around like I did it. What you gonna do about it? Like, and don't care. Like usually you're trying to hide out, you're trying to be low. Like this dude is out
Everybody's
the
in
open,
jail. It's
just
safe.
crazy.
Well, obviously, he's still on home confinement. He still has federal protection. That's one
Yeah,
thing I
all
do
that.
want to see. When August happens and he actually could be released, does he still get that taxpayer federal protection? As you can see what happened to him in Long Island. The address got boom, 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 another house, another location. So I do want to see that aspect of it. But when
Hold on, Zine.
Yep.
We gotta give everybody a final thought. We're going way too long on this topic.
Oh, my fault.
Everybody a final thought. So I'm gonna let you start it off.
All right, so I'm gonna start it off with Tekashi 6ix9ine is a marketing genius. If you are upset, I understand why you're upset, but just know that you're gonna be having a lot of sleepless nights for no reason, because your thoughts and feelings is not gonna affect the masses who don't understand the culture, who has never indulged in the culture, and the culture to them is what they hear and see on YouTube, right? So that's one. My last thing is, we're gonna go around, and I'm asking this question: if you was in Tekashi 6ix9ine shoes, with everything that you know, are you taking the 47 years, or are you doing the IG live with 2 million people? Josh, I'll start with you. Go ahead and answer my
First of all,
question
I would never put myself in that situation.
No, if you were in that situation,
I can't,
if
like,
you
Zine.
were,
I can't even give you. I can't even give you a real. I
America,
can't give you.
you see the dancing. You see the dancing going on.
Nah, I can't even give you. I can't even give you a real answer because
because you'll never put yourself in that situation.
I never would.
Imagine hyperbole if you were in that situation.
Oh, now you want me to imagine.
Now you want to imagine.
Now you want me to imagine.
Now
you want me to
you want to imagine, huh?
First of all,
go ahead. Would you 47 years? Or
I wouldn't do 47 days. I wouldn't do 47 days. However,
all right, Z, answer your question. I'm snitching.
If I was in that situation,
I don't want to do no time.
Yeah, if I was in that situation, like I wouldn't be like say if I like sent a bunch of people in Providence to like jail, I wouldn't be like on Broad Street in the clubs like popping champagne bottles.
That's true too.
That's true too.
I'd be like, I'd be like, hey, like let me just chill out for a minute. Let me just enjoy my freedom that I got a second chance at. And that's what I don't agree with. And like, just because I state my opinion, don't mean that I'm mad or bothered or angry or losing sleep or punching. It's just like, yo, that's just my opinion. Just like he can go on, was you a snitch? Like, just like he can go on there and say what he wants to say. We can all say what we want to say. Doc, please take us home.
Yeah, I mean, like it was before, man. Like I always say, like it's wrong, man. I just feel bad for the innocent people that had nothing to do with it.
God, there's no innocent people. Stop with this innocent people.
Zim,
I get what you
give you a
mean.
scenario real quick? I give you a scenario. Can I give you a scenario? Please, please, can I give you a scenario?
I want to stick on this. There's no innocent people. If you chose the gang life, if you endorsed this guy, if you was part of it, you know that these are the chances that there could be a rat or mole within your crew. We have instances just on a lower level, group chats where people ratted on me and snitched on me and told on me, and that, like, just in a little micro sense.
It only took 50 minutes to get there, but we got there. It only took.
I'm just, you know what I mean? So my fault. You know what? I'll entertain your scenario. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Man, my thing is, I like, it's just, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough. It's so tough. Like,
and this is what Tekashi 6ix9ine did to the 150,000 comments that he had. People was ready to kill him, and then I'm reading, yeah, if you say that you're gonna take that 47 for people who did this, and this, you're capping. You're capping. You can go see it and read it yourself.
And Zim, can you be honest about something? It really wasn't 47 years. He wouldn't.
Nah, that's what they were trying to throw.
They wasn't.
Yeah, but they always got in articles.
They always
gonna say the max number.
Of course.
But not for nothing. Like, no, just so to stay on topic, to answer your question, like, I mean, like, shit, it'll be. But like Josh said, damn, like, it's so comfortable, so cocky, bro, doing that. Like, it's just. But like, and it's tough because like you know, I feel like we all a strong enough base that we would never do clown stuff like that.
Facts. We'll never. But
to like be something we not.
I'm sorry.
Damn, can he finish his point?
I'm sorry.
Anyone else get some food on their plate?
I'm sorry. I know we got to wrap it up. My thing is, sorry, I just want to make sure the camera's good. I actually think he would have looked more of a coward coming out trying to apologize. And does that make sense what I'm trying to say? Like, he would have looked.
Who said apologize? Just say, like, just be humble, just be regular.
Yeah, be humble. Like,
I think he would have looked worse. I think he would have looked worse if he would have went that route. He stuck to what his guns was and his persona that he created for the last 3 years. He stuck with it. That's all I know is all this talking, just get this out fast and early. Make sure I got my highlight clips for IG. I love you guys. I stayed 10 toes down on what I had to say, man.
So you love a snitch. All right, guys, that's it. We out of here.
Here we go.
Another YouTube clip.
We out of here.
All right, boys.
Zim loves a snitch. Bye, guys.
Here we go.